Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.
Welcome to AI Hub, your one-stop shop for everything AI. I'm Larry, and I'll be your guide through the fascinating world of artificial intelligence.
And I'm Amanda, here to help you understand what's really going on in this rapidly evolving field.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of AI coding assistants.
Specifically,
we're looking at those eye-popping valuations some of these companies are attracting.
yeah, those are pretty remarkable.
We're talking billions of dollars. Buckle up.
It's a real signal that investors believe these tools are about to change the way software is developed, and in a big way.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with a company called AnySphere and their AI coding assistant, Cursor. Just a few months ago, they raised money at a valuation of $2.5 billion.
Not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
But get this.
Uh-oh.
Now they're in talks to raise even more funding.
Oh, wow.
And this time, the valuation could be close to $10 billion.
Whoa, that is quite a jump.
Yeah.
Are they suddenly making mountains of cash?
Well, their growth is definitely impressive. To understand these valuations, we need to look at something called annual recurring revenue, or ARR.
Okay.
Basically, it's the predictable income a company expects each year. AnySphere's previous valuation was 25 times their ARR, which was already a healthy $100 million, but now their ARR might be as high as $150 million.
So this new valuation could be 66 times their ARR.
That's wild. What are investors seeing that's making them so confident?
It's all about potential. Investors are betting that AI coding assistants are about to become essential tools for software developers everywhere. And AnySphere is looking like a frontrunner.
It's not just AnySphere, though, is it? There are other players in this space making waves.
You bet. Code.em, the company behind the Windsurf AI coding editor, is another one to watch. They're aiming for a valuation of nearly $3 billion.
Okay. So clearly investors are seeing dollar signs when they look at AI coding tools. But what makes coding such a good fit for AI? Is there something specific about it that makes these tools so powerful?
Right.
You've hit on a key point. AI is adapting incredibly fast in coding, because code itself is a kind of language.
The language, yeah.
And AI excels at understanding and manipulating language. These AI assistants can do things like analyze code, write new code, and even find and fix errors, things that traditionally take human developer a lot of time and effort.
So it's almost like having a superpowered assistant who can handle the more tedious parts of coding, leaving human developers free to focus on the creative stuff.
That's exactly it. It's about amplifying human capabilities, not replacing them.
So it sounds like we're on the verge of a major shift in how software is built, but is this just hype, or is there real substance behind these billion-dollar valuations?
Oh, there's definitely substance. Remember those investors swarming Poolside we talked about?
Poolside, yeah.
They're another AI coding startup, and they're attracting serious attention for a reason.
What's so special about Poolside?
Well, they're developing their own large language model, which you can think of as the brain behind an AI coding assistant. These models are trained on massive amounts of data, which allows them to understand and generate code in incredibly sophisticated ways.
Wow.
Poolside's model could potentially offer even more advanced capabilities than what we're seeing from other companies.
So Amanda, paint a picture for us. What could the future of software development look like in a world where these AI coding assistants become commonplace?
Imagine a world where anyone with an idea for an app or a website can actually build it regardless of their coding experience. That's the potential here.
That's pretty amazing.
We could see an explosion of creativity and innovation as these tools become more accessible and powerful.
That's a pretty exciting thought, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. What are some of the challenges and potential downsides we need to be aware of? After all, no technology is without its risks.
One concern is that these models are trained on massive data sets of code, which could contain biases.
Biases, right?
We need to be vigilant about ensuring that AI coding assistants don't perpetuate those biases and create unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
That's a really important point. We've seen those issues with bias in other areas of AI, so it's definitely something to watch out for as these coding assistants become more widely used. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, there's also the potential impact on jobs.
Yeah.
Some people worry that AI coding assistants will make human developers obsolete. But I see it differently.
How so?
Think of it like this. The invention of the calculator didn't eliminate the need for mathematicians. It actually freed them up to focus on more complex and interesting problems.
Okay, yeah.
I think AI coding assistants will have a similar effect on software development.
So instead of replacing human developers, these tools will actually change the nature of their work.
Exactly. Rather than spending hours on tedious tasks like writing boilerplate code or debugging simple errors, developers can leverage AI to handle those things. That frees them up to focus on higher-level tasks like designing creative solutions, solving complex problems, ensuring a smooth user experience.
It's like having an AI partner who can take care of the grunt work so you can focus on the big picture.
That's a great way to put it. And as these AI assistants become more sophisticated, they could potentially handle even more complex tasks, which would further push the boundaries of what's possible in software development.
That's an exciting thought. It's like we're moving towards a world where the only limit in software development is our imagination, not our technical skills.
I love that perspective. And it could have a democratizing effect, too. If anyone can build software regardless of their coding experience, we could see a whole new wave of creativity and innovation.
It's like giving everyone the power to create their own digital world. That's pretty incredible.
It is. But of course, there are always trade-offs. As we embrace these powerful new tools, we need to be mindful of the potential downsides as well.
You mentioned the concern about bias. What other challenges do you see?
One thing to consider is the potential for over-reliance on AI coding assistants.
Over-reliance. Okay.
It's important for developers to maintain a strong understanding of the underlying code and principles of software engineering. Otherwise, we risk creating a generation of developers who are overly reliant on these tools and unable to function without them.
That's a valid point. We don't want to become so dependent on AI that we lose our own ability to think critically and solve problems.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right balance. We need to leverage the power of AI without sacrificing our own skills and expertise.
It's like any tool, really. You need to know how to use it effectively and understand its limitations. Otherwise, you're not really in control.
Exactly. And we also need to be mindful of the potential impact on the job market. While AI coding assistants can enhance productivity and free up developers for higher-level tasks, there's also the possibility that some coding jobs could become automated.
Yeah, that's a concern that comes up with every major technological advancement. How do you see the role of human developers evolving in this new landscape?
I think the key will be adaptability and a willingness to embrace lifelong learning. Developers will need to focus on developing skills that complement AI, like problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration.
It's not just about learning how to code anymore. It's about learning how to work effectively alongside AI.
That's a great way to sum it up. And it's not just for developers. I think everyone needs to be prepared for a world where AI is increasingly integrated into our lives and work.
So what can people do to prepare themselves for this future?
Embrace the change. Be curious, experiment with new tools, and be willing to adapt your skills. There are tons of resources available for learning about AI, and the more you understand about it, the better equipped you'll be to navigate this evolving landscape.
That's great advice. So Amanda, stepping back for a moment, what's the biggest takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I think the main thing is this. AI coding assistants are incredibly powerful tools with the potential to revolutionize software development. But, like any powerful tool, they need to be used responsibly and with careful consideration of the potential impacts.
It's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we choose to use it.
Exactly. It's about harnessing the power of AI to enhance our capabilities and create a better future for everyone.
It really feels like we're at a pivotal moment in the history of technology.
I agree. It's like we're witnessing the birth of a new era.
So for our listeners out there who are maybe feeling a little overwhelmed by all this talk of AI and coding, what advice would you give them? How can they prepare themselves for this future that we've been discussing?
The most important thing is to stay curious and embrace a mindset of lifelong learning. The world of technology is constantly evolving, and AI is accelerating that evolution even further.
So don't be afraid to dive in and explore. Experiment with new tools. Take online courses. Connect with other people who are passionate about AI. There's a whole world of resources out there waiting to be discovered.
That's right. And remember that AI is ultimately a tool. It's up to us to decide how we use it and what kind of future we want to create with it.
It's like having a powerful new set of brushes and paints. We can use them to create a masterpiece, or we can just make a mess. It all depends on our vision and our skill.
That's a great analogy. And as with any art form, practice makes perfect. The more you experiment with AI, the more comfortable and confident you'll become.
So don't be intimidated by the technology. Embrace it, explore it, and see what incredible things you can create.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, man, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of AI coding assistants. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. It's been a real eye-opener.
It's been my pleasure, Larry. I always enjoy our conversations.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this journey into the future of AI. If you want to stay on top of all the latest developments, make sure to subscribe to AI Hub wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back soon with more fascinating insights and deep dives into the world of artificial intelligence. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.
Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.